Good morning, Rabbi Isai. We have some very choshev guests here. We actually had a very choshev guest yesterday, and here he is, 2.5 hours before his flight. So as soon as the shir is over, we're going to ask, like on the flight, you know, like when a plane lands late and they ask everybody to sit in their seat so the guy can run off? Here, keep seated so you can get off quickly. Shkoyach for coming again. Wow, unbelievable. Dear Belly, so I bumped into this guy yesterday, 2 hours before the Hebrew Shin. He said, I do your shir while I snapple. Basically, he does high, he does like, he cleans windows, he changes bulbs in very high places, and he does the shir every single day. And I guess this is just a put on, but it's geschmack anyway. Thank you very much for the daily shir of inspiration. I work in the field of high repelling. I greatly enjoy the shir with great appreciation. Yosef Sevirsky. Gonna start writing down stuff. Hold on a second.
Cleaning the windows.
What?
2 guys cleaning the windows.
Yeah, it's the other guy. Hold on.
Next level of high from the shir.
Shloime Blumenfeld. Hi Rebelli. I think today was one of the most inspiring musars we ever had before the shir by announcing the cancellation of the MDY Yeshiva. I know how important it is to have a yeshiva like this. I myself have a son who would benefit tremendously from a yeshiva like this. I didn't sign up because he's Hasidish. So? He doesn't chab, it's MDY. Okay, we'll explain it at a different time. Although I do not understand why the Gdolim didn't approve opening the shir. No, it's not that they didn't approve. They gave advice not to. Shiva now seeing how you accepted their advice. Their advice. With no questions, even though it was hard for you, was very inspiring. Thanks for all, Shlomo. 10 minutes before I came to shir, 10 minutes, I received a phone call from one of my best friends. Every single person in this room knows who he is. His house just burnt down to the ground. Every single thing. You all know him very, very well. He asked me not to say his name, but I guess you'll find out. But burnt to the ground. Nothing, he said he just took off his gold watch that he got from his father. It was like a memento from him, and put it down, and he ran without the watch, without anything. We're now 18 days, some things insurance doesn't pay, like your wedding album, like all your children's albums. I believe that we can reach, says Gershiros, Rabbi Isai, this is super important. We're 18 days to the new Masechta, 17 days maybe today. I believe that we can reach 10,000 recruits, but first we need more ambassadors to help spread inspiration via our status clips groups on WhatsApp, says Gershon Rose. Time and again we've noticed that those who come through them tend to stay because if my friend believes in the shir, I want to be part of it too. Chaver mevi chaver. To join our status, our groups, status clips in English, statusclips.mdydaf.com, and in Hebrew, hebrewstatus.mdydaf.com. I'd like to take this opportunity to wish a huge thank you to our personal clips editor, Ariel Liba, who crafts professional high-impact clips daily, delivering a powerful message in 2 languages. Let's make a difference together. Best Gershi Rose. I want to talk about it for a moment because, Shalom Aleichem. How are you? What's your name? Arnoyach Fried from? Lakewood. Shalom Aleichem. And that's your son?
Yes.
So you're like we just learned in the Gemara that if you have 2 names, Rabbi Yaakov Kamenetsky, who said? I forgot who said. Rabbi Yashiv, Rabbi Yaakov, that you shouldn't name somebody 2 names, but if you do, you should use them. They have 2 mazals. Very nice. Shalom Aleichem. Givaldik. Yeah, they're giving out tickets now. Trying to move cars. Okay. They're giving a ticket up here on this little path also? Oh, if somebody has a car right in front of the base measures, they're doing construction here, I guess. Okay. So, Rabbi said, this is what we want to do. We want to try something new. Been thinking about this for close to 2 years. Retention. We bring a lot of people in, and we don't really hold on to them. We have no way to communicate with them. And what we'd like to do is that when people come into the shir, let's say for Margit, we get a few thousand Bezer Hashem. When you get a free Gemara, you sign up, you give your phone number, we put you into a group. And once you're in a group, let's say you're in Bet Shemesh, so you're in the Bet Shemesh group. You're in Lakewood, you're in the Lakewood group. There'll be a person, an ambassador, in charge of that group. Like you'll be in charge of Montreal. You masking? All right, so we have an ambassador. Last night I forgot to put the picture in. Last night I got to show this picture. So hold on, I got to take a moment here and I got to send it to Dave. Dave, do me a favor, put these pictures in. Let's see where they are, if I can find them. It's Murray that get pictures. Oh, no, I don't have it. Okay, whatever. Different time. Last night we had a chayal in Shmuel Begodim with the gun, and a Yerushalmi guy whose father is a dayan on the Badatz, famous dayan. And he comes every night. He comes with his white yarmulke and his zebra thing, Yerushalmi. And he was the first one to volunteer to be the ambassador for the Yerushalmis. On WhatsApp, Yerushalmis. And he went over to the guy after Ma'ariv, and they were schmoozing it out, and they were taking pictures like crazy, because here you have a chayal, you have this. So the point is like this: we're going to do groups of, let's say, 50 to 100, and there's going to be an ambassador, and there'll be an ambassador on top of the ambassador. But the point is to be on top of the new people. Did you do the daf? Take a poll every day. Who did the daf? Who didn't do the daf? Like this, whoever, not a mishgiach, a buddy, a shutuf, and if we'll probably, most likely, whoever finishes Masechtas Makos by checking in every day will get a free Gemara. I don't know how this is going to work with Fischl's thing, with the salami and the $250. But kids, we'll have to figure it out. We'll have to speak to Fischl. Maybe he wants to do a joint effort. But the point is, we bring in thousands and then we lose. We bring in more thousands. Instead of bringing more and more, just take the people that we have and develop that they should be part of it and get the 100-day, So he's saying that through... Hi, Rebellion wants to tell you, I almost teared up when you announced that the MDY Yeshiva is canceled for now. I hope this will come. When the right minute will come. I want to share my thoughts with you. I might be wrong, but I think a lot of people thought like me. I felt that opening yeshiva might take you out of focus, the current MDY family members, and from the daily shir. Although you said you won't be involved in yeshiva on a daily basis, I wouldn't tell you that when you announce the opening yeshiva, but I feel I may say it now. Now to the chizuk. Don't be frustrated. I know it feels frustrating, knocked down, especially with Noam and the team already put in a lot of effort. They meant to do it for Hashem and to bring the young boys to Torah. But you can do more and a lot more for the current MDY family members to bring more people to Torah through MDY. Okay, so that's what we're doing. You can do retention. Just share my thoughts on it. No need to read in public. P.S. I think we all can relate to the story, beard, where's the Yid? We all have to make sure that a Yiddishkeit is not just the beard or the suit and the hat that we are wearing. It is deeper than that. We have to be embedded in Hashem, and I was thinking, Eino Mevado, you tell me since Baba Basra, Daf Beis, Elia Burger. Yeah? That's what I guess it's the Satmar Rav. I got a bunch of emails. That was Mike Tress, and the Satmar Rav, Bard, Avuz the Yid. In other words, a lot of people think because they wear the levush and they have the payas and the beard, they're good to go. They go straight into Olam Haba and they forget that you have to do Torah mitzvahs. And they look down at other people and a lot of times they're surprised. Wow, that guy without the beard, without the payas, he knows how to learn better than me. It was a fluke. And then all of a sudden they chap, taka better. So I found this email. I was looking through some emails yesterday. I don't think I read it. And maybe if I did, you'll excuse me, but it was a good one. And it has, you know what? You know who will know if I read it? MDY Retention, because it mentions his name here. We'll hear it soon. I have a hard time putting this past Shabbos into words. It's about the Shabbaton. I never ever experienced a Shabbos like this in my entire life. If not only for spending Shabbos together with other Yidden, Dayenu. Does it sound familiar? Yeah. You would know. If for only listening to the wonderful Bali Tefillah choir, Dayenu. If only for attending the beautiful Siyam, Dayenu. If only for the amazing music, singer, and speeches, Dayenu. If only for riding in the elevator once Shabbos at 3 a.m. in the morning and getting a shir from Rebbe, Dayenu. I did read this. But it's about Mendy. How do you remember him now? Allah is Kama Kama, having all above. I had the opportunity to spend Shabbos with the most amazing MDYers. I had the opportunity to hear first time from Bachram, in Gelite, and women, how they have grown and have changed their lives. Without mentioning names, Shimi Braun pointing out to Mendy Auerbach. Without mentioning names, Shimi Braun pointed out to Mendy Auerbach, we davened in the same shul for 20 years, and my identity was coming late and schmoozing all the way through davening. The person writing this email, Penny Taub, said they used to schmooze the entire davening. If I had started davening a few years ago, especially attending a shir, our friends would have said he went crazy. My identity was laughing off everything Yiddishkeit. That was his identity. Mendy then asked me, how was I able to change? I answered, then what? Did I read this ever? I don't think so. Did I read this?
Torah is good.
He remembers. Many then asked me how was I able to change. I answered that once I started doing the daf with the rebelli, found myself in the company of thousands like me. It's very easy when you're not alone. When I walked into the shul for the first few times after 30 years of not going to shul on the weekdays, I didn't walk in by myself. I walked in with hundreds of other MDYers like me, together. I have a shir in Hasidus every day now because I'm encouraged by all the others like me. I started doing Shnai Mikra for the first time because it's so much easier to start together with thousands of others. MDY changed me and changed my family, where MDY family is not just a slogan. I'm still on a high from the Shabbos. I'd like to end with the thanks, but I can't find the proper words. May Hashem continue to give you Atzlucha, Nachas, good health. Amen. Your dear Talmud, Pinitaub, Staten Island. You remember such a thing? You would have remembered. This one I might have read, but this has a lot to do with this thing I was talking about, retention. Hi Rebelli, my name is Moshe Markovich. I live in Mexico City and have a lot to say. Proves to the daf that changed my life, and once I started listening to your shir, and once it changed my life. I would love to talk to you and see what we can do here in Mexico to get MDY going. I'm willing to make a beautiful event. I'll take care of everything. I'm sure we'll get many people to learn. I did read this?
Yeah, it was a picture of a trampoline, right?
No, I don't know. It didn't come with a picture. Can't wait to hear from you and meet you personally. We have a very big Jewish community, especially the Sephardim, have many koils, a lot of Yiddishkeit, and be amazed to see all we have here. You don't need to go there. We could just make a phone call, probably. Look, it says on there. Can we speak on the phone? I'll be waiting to hear from you. Thank you. And that's 6 months ago. When was this the Shabbaton?
November.
Okay, but I didn't call the guy. That's for sure. So I need somebody to call him quickly. Okay, the Rabbi said there's no tirutzim. No, this is a good one. We have Markovich from Mexico that he wants to be an ambassador. He's going to be an ambassador of Mexico. Rav Gross is going to be the ambassador of Montreal. And the anicle of the Av Bezin, or the from, what's the famous name? What's his name? What's his grandfather's name? Bransdorfer. Rav Bransdorfer's anicle learns in the share every day, every night. Chazak. And I'm going to send a picture. Hold on. I'm sending you a picture. I'm sending a picture, but we had to block his face out because he said he could get it. We had to blur his face. Yeah, I'm putting his picture. Hold on. We blurred his face.
He's in danger.
He said he's a shtickle in danger, not a lot. His grandfather has a lot of pull. Okay, I sent it to Dave. Dave will put it out and let me know. It was a great picture. We did it like, it's 25. We did it like, what was it called when Arafat and this, and then the American president was in the center? That's what we did. Yeah, Camp David. Masech the sponsor, lirfo Shmuel Ben Chaim, Ettel, and Yosef Ben Chaya Sara ben Alte Nechama by the grateful family. Anonymous. For the Hatzlacha, Berukhlin ובגשמיות. Larry Cohn. The memory of Yechiel Moshe Ben Chaim, yet to start learning Daf Yomi at age 70. Anonymous. For the unity of the Jewish people. My Glenn Esterson, a loving graduate from Wilmington, North Carolina. Thank you for enriching my life with Torah. Monthly sponsors, Lina Shmas, Zechariah Ben Moshe, Lina Shmas, Chaya Bas Yosef, Binyomin Rosenfeld, Açlacha Ben Parnassah. We're thinking about you. We had all shmuz about Binyomin Rosenfeld last night.
Go back one. Larry Cohn, read that again.
Larry Cohn, in memory of Yechiel Moshe Ben Chaim, who started learning Daf Yomi at age 70.
And continued for 30. Go back.
I know. I say it every day, so sometimes I skip it when we're in a rush. I did it on purpose. I'm not going to read it now. Leaders from the fallen soldier, hostages, Ariel Ben Shiri, Kfir Ben Shiri, Shiri Ben Margit. Everybody knows.
What are you reading?
When did he start learning Torah? 70. And continue for how many years? Gewaldig. The Olam knows. Parnassah berevach baruch tzvi nisim ben Shoshana leah. By actual eyes. Parnassah berevach baruch tzvi nisim ben Shoshana leah. Coil sponsors, month. Yaakov Ben Sarah Mishpachta Lebracha Hatzlacha. Daily sponsors, Mordechai Sapaznik, in honor of Rebelli, Reb Noam Fix, and everyone behind MDY Yeshiva for wanting to do it L'Shem Shamayim. Oh, Mordechai Sapaznik, the number one sponsor. Hashem bench all of them with much bracha and Hatzlacha. He has the most sponsorships of the year. Yisrael Halperin, Mazel Tov on the birth of a daughter. Oh, it's not your daughter. Oh, got me there for a second. Of a great granddaughter named Chana. You saw the shock? He almost fell off the seat. It's a daughter. B'nei Bonim Areim Kebanim. Mazel tov, birth of the great granddaughter named Chana to Miriam Shlomo. I would never do a shidduch with someone like that. Worship shik. You know worship shik from Lakewood? Go on. Worshavshik. He doesn't even know how to say it. It's Worshavshik. That's how you say it. Worshavshik. Is he right? That sounds a lot better. Worshavshik in Lakewood. The boys say, just shik, and Shalom Yisrael. What's the Worshavshik? MDY Kids Monthly Innovations, Chus for Fischl. It's mamish wrong when you have Margit that can't pronounce and doesn't have a name like that. It's also Chus for Fischl, Chana, Kiva, Rivki, and Mrs. Stefansky. Art of the month. Lirfo Shleima for Yonatan, Eitan Ben Batsheva Brocha. For Chus for Rebellion, the whole MDY staff to continue to make Torah joy of so many. In honor of Yossi Klein and Margit Ashkenazi, who are on a Zoom call with me and Noam until 12 plus last night into the morning. Margit Ashkenazi for all the work they do. Shkoyach and Rabbi Isai. Here are the pictures. He comes every. No, there's a better one. Where's the one that I'm holding?
It's not bad.
Okay. This is real. The other one was staged. Okay. Zokte, Rabbi, I have a question, and I'm serious. Ariel, you cannot answer. I want to see who can answer this. Noam can't answer. You can't answer. Who knows? This is a question for Hasidim, really, and if you're not Hasidish, please don't answer. What happened historically that changed Klal Yisrael in 1948? Shh. Nobody, you guys don't answer. What happened? 1940, you have no clue. You could answer.
State of Israel.
Not bad. Shh. What do you say? Shraga Favel? That changed, okay. Not bad. Close. Shh. What? You hear that? Avraham Avinu was born in 1948, Rabbi Isai. How do we know? We're going to see from the Gemara. He started teaching Torah when the world was 2,000 years old, and in 1948 he was born, and that changed Klal Yisrael's history. So, very good. This guy knows a lot. We're standing here, and he doesn't even have a beard. He has a very good memory. Yeah. Omar le Rav Nachman le Rabbi Yitzchok. So we have Daf Tzadik Vav Amud Beis. Omar le Rav Nachman le Rabbi Yitzchok. Rabbi said today's daf is all about Mashiach from beginning to end. I'm sure there are many, many people that went through this daf many, many times to figure out exactly when Mashiach is coming. There's a lot of hints on this daf, a lot of confusion, on purpose probably. So what we're going to have is, there's a minimum and there's a maximum. It seems like Mashiach cannot come later than 6,000, the year 6,000. We are 215 years away from the max. And then there's the earliest that it could come. When is Bar Nafli showing up? Man Bar Nafli. Who's Bar Nafli? I never heard of him. Mashiach. Mashiach Bar Nafli personally. Why are you calling him Bar Nafli? The falling sukkah of David, he's the faller. He fell. So there's a few clues, and everybody could look around and say, oh, maybe it's our generation. One thing that sticks out from everything the Gemara says is the chutzpah that we have in our generation. Maybe the lack of gdolei olam. It might be the first time in history that it's not a gadol that everybody says, wow, he's the gadol, Rabbi Yashiv, Rabbi Shem Zalman. It's a dar yasam. We come right after the Shoah, and there's a lot of things that happened then that brought down in the Gemara. Let's see. Very few Talmid Chacham. And most of the people, they have a lot of tsar and anguish. Vitzaris rabbis, ugzeris koshes mischatros, constant renewing of the terrible decrees. This is called Chavli Mashiach. You finally get over one, and boom, the second one starts up all over again. Torah Bonim. I think the Rabbi say, let's see who could do it better. Who could do it better? We'll put side to side. We have to sing a song here. Ani ma'amin, ani ma'amin, start later, Vafapi, if Doilim remembers. Torah Abanon, Shavua Shemin David Baboy, Shoner Rishonim Sky Mikrozeh. The 7 years when Mashiach comes, so it's going to go in this order. There'll be a lot of rain in one city, in the other city there'll be a little bit of a problem of starvation. Shnia, the second year, it's going to start hurting, the pains of the famine. Is that what anybody have article? Does it say the word pangs? I like that word over here. Shlishis, Rav Gadol. Tremendous hunger. Men, women, and children, like we had 70 years ago, dying from starvation. Chasidim and tzaddikim. Why is Torah going to be forgotten? When there's no food, you don't learn Torah. You can't learn. It's physically impossible, and people are going to forget Torah. But physically, then it's going to start reversing. There's going to be food, and there's going to be no food. There's going to be a lot of food in the 5th year. That reminds me of our generation a little bit. A lot of food, a lot of simcha, a lot of wealth. And then all these shivas fill up. There's a lot of Torah. The 6th year, I don't know what these years are exactly, but it's also a song. Does that mean? In the 7th year, there's going to be war. And after the Shemitah, after the 7th year, Ben David, Mashiach is going to come. Omer Rav Yosef, Hokama Shviz Dahava came v'lo Yosef. Ask Rav Yosef the Rebbe. I don't understand what you're describing here. That there's hunger and then there's food. It happened a few times. Omer Abaye b'shishis koilos b'shviz muchamis mihava. But you don't have those kind of things. You don't have a year of koil of the shofar or rumors that Mashiach is coming, and you don't have the wars. Void consider mihava. You have all 7 years in this exact order. Shkoyach. Asher cherfu yivechu Hashem. The enemy taunted Hashem. Asher cherfu ikvois mishichecha. Tanya Rabbi Yehuda Omer. Dor sheben David baboy. Beis Avad Yilaz Nus. This is very sad. The Beis Medrash, which lays outside the outskirts of the city, since nobody's using it, will turn into a place for Znus. V'hagal Yechrav. This may be also in our generation. The Galil, it's gone, destroyed, missiles and stuff. V'hagavlon Yesham, I don't know where that is, but it's also going to be destroyed. V'anshi Gvul, in our generation, we have it Adayim Hazeh. We have many, many people that live on the border of Eretz Yisrael that have nowhere to go. Maybe a few 100,000, they say. They're going to go from city to city, from hotel to hotel, and nobody has Ruchmanas on them. The Chachma Soifrim Tisrach, and the Chachma of the Soifrim is going to.
Gavlan is Golan.
Really?
Yeah.
But we said Galil and the Golan. Interesting. Very nice. Gavlan, he says on the side, is in the Art Scroll Hebrew.
Yeah.
Is the Golan. Very interesting. Cool. Who says it? Some sefer.
Brings down. Quotes Rashi in Yoshea.
Wow. Rashi. That's not a stam sefer. Okay. The Chachmas HaServim Tisrach. The Chachma of the servant will spoil. The Yirei Chet Yimoasu. People that have Yir Shamayim are going to be despised. Upnei Ador Kipnei Kelev. The famous line. Rabbi said we have two presidents. The leaders will start looking like Rashi says that people are going to start looking like dogs. They're going to start looking like dogs. The famous Rebbe Chanan Wasserman, he says, he says if you see a person taking a dog around, he takes his dog, and the dog always leads. The dog always, that's how it is. The nature of a dog is he leads. But in his mind, he knows very well who the master is. So when he gets to a corner, he always turns around to see what direction are we going. Huh? You want to go to the right? You want to go to the left? He's constantly looking behind him to see what the owner is doing. But he thinks he's pretending that he leads. He says that's what politicians are. They're constantly they don't go with what they really want. They go with what they think their constituents want. So he says that's a pnei dart k'pnei kelev. V'emes nederes. There's no truth. Shenemar v'tiyo emes nederes. Will be missing. Will be lost. The truth will be lost. Mai v'tiyo emes nederes. Amud Beis melamed shenasis adorim v'yilechis la. There'll be many groups. The Yalkei Gershuni says that in the time of Mashiach there'll be many groups, and then he says that something that a lot of us can relate to. Every group looks down at the other group. So, these guys, they got it wrong. They're terrible. Hashem hates them. Hashem loves me. My Rebbe is right. Your Rebbe is wrong. My Rosh Hashiva is right. Your Rosh Hashiva is wrong. Many, many groups, and every group thinks that they're it. And there's no other Yiddishkeit besides them. In terms of we said Amos, I have to say a couple, at least one story about Rabbi Yochanan. First of all, the famous story that his minig, he's Litvish. He was Litvish. The minig is to eat gebroks, but he never ate gebroks because when he was a bachar in yeshiva, he was at somebody's seder, and he didn't think that the certain food had the right kashrus or whatever. So he told about it. He didn't like it, whatever it was. He said, "I don't eat gebroks." And from that moment on, he never ate gebroks in his life. Another story that I never heard before, I saw yesterday, is that the Rebbe told the kids that tomorrow is a non-Jewish holiday, and there might be some sort of parade on the way. Nobody should stop at the parade. Come straight to Cheder. He came late to Cheder. So the Rebbe said, "Why'd you come late to Cheder?" He said, "Because there's an old man on the street, and he had a heavy package. I helped him." So Rebbe smacked him in the face. And Rabbi Yaakov said he never forgave this Rebbe. That part I don't know if it's true. But if kids, he had a tie on him. He said, I never lied in my life, including that day. I didn't lie. Why did I get a smack? I was helping the old man.
He didn't go off the derech because of this one.
Did not go off the derech. Most of us got smacked here. Now, I mean, the older people got smacked in this room. We didn't go off the derech. I mean, we could have been a lot better, but we didn't go off. But boys, I forgot to show you a Margit video of how not to say sheker. This is very, very important. This video it has everything to do with this year. The Olam liked it a lot, so I'm going to show it to you last night. We're talking about two, like, let's say teenagers. Let's call them 17-year-olds. And in America, there's a thing, a lot of places, that if you bring a child with you to eat, the child eats for free. So these are two Bacher and Yeshiva guys that decided to be Mekayim Mitzvahs Emes, not to lie, B'chlal. Here we go.
Go to IHOP disguised as a baby and try to get a free kids meal.
Do kids eat free here?
Yeah, they do.
Is it just for you two? Just for us.
That's fine right there. That way you could have a...
Hey.
This is a 17-year-old kid.
For the baby, just the chicken tenders are fine. You want some chicken tendies? Shut up.
For the baby.
Ooh, applesauce.
I thought it was Yishmak. It has nothing to do with this year. Maybe I shouldn't show things like this.
Oh my gosh, it actually worked.
Let's go.
We should have, huh? No, sheker. We're teaching them what sheker is. Sheker, not sheker. Lamaisa would have been a lot funnier if me and Gershon Ben Moshe did it. Like, you pull in, see if it works. In Israel, it wouldn't work. The guy behind the counter would come across, he'd just 2 smacks in the face, rip off the blanket, and say, "What are you doing?" Okay. It would not work here. My besar mira mishtoilo. So until yesterday, I always thought mishtolel in Hebrew means to be wild, to go crazy, to be wild. But mishtolel means to go crazy. It means mishtolel is a lashon of craziness, of a shaita. Amid Reb Shila kol mishasar mira mishtolel brios. And that also you have today. When you act normal and you have certain, what's the word I'm looking for? Not hashkaf, values. Your values, when you act with regular, normal values, common sense values, you look down at. Kol mishasamira, when you go away from the bad, mishtayla brios, the brios, the olam, the left thinks you're crazy. Omar Rabbi Mereish, great story here. Mereish have amino leke kushta ba'alma. In the beginning I thought there's no such thing as emes. Omar li Omer Rabbanan Rav Tova Shmei. But I was once told a story by Rav Tova, Vamri Lo Rav Yechiel Shmei. His name was Yechiel. If you give me all the wealth of the world, he wouldn't change a word that he said. Why? What happens? He came to a place, and the name was Truth. That was the name of the place. The minig over there was Kishmoy Kenu. They didn't change anything from what they said. They never said a sheker. And because they always said the truth, no one ever died at an early age. You never had a young kid dying. You never had somebody get killed in an accident. Everybody died at their time. So I married a woman from there, and I had 2 sons from her. Rabbi said this happens to us many times. A guy comes knocking on the door, and you don't feel like giving him money. So what do you say? What do the kids say? Tati's not home, or Tati told me to tell you he's not home. These are bad things. This could cause children to die, lo yaleinu. This is called sheker. What are you supposed to say? My father's not available. Not home is a lie. Sometimes I say my father's not home. I really mean my father's not home. My father lives in Florida. That's not a sheker, is it? I didn't say the Baal bus. Okay, fine. No, you're not allowed to say it. You're not allowed to say it. His wife was washing her hair. A neighbor came, knocked on the door, asking for the wife. It's not appropriate to say, "Oh, my father's in the bathroom. Platy is in the shower." You don't say that. Shower is not a nice thing. On my law, so he lied a little bit. She's not home. Immediately, his 2 sons died because he said a little bit of a lie. He said it for tznius, they died. The Maral explains, in certain situations you're allowed to lie. For tznius you're allowed to lie. Perhaps he was allowed to lie. But since he took upon himself an oath, a neder, that he won't lie, he's moving into this neighborhood, it's a non-lying neighborhood, so he took an oath. And when you break a neder, bun of mason. That's what happens. That's the einish of breaking a neder. Also, so the entire city, they realized something's wrong. What are you making a levaya for two small children? Something must have happened there. They came to figure it out. Tell us what happened, exactly what happened. Somebody knocked on the door, I lied a shtickle. So they said to them, listen, we understand you're in Shiva. You must leave immediately because you're bringing death upon the whole city. So the Marsha explains beautifully. He says the whole world was built on emes. If you look at the first words of the Torah, Bereshis bara Elokim is emes, and at the end of the parsha of Brias Ha'olam, which is Perek Beis, I didn't put in here Perek Beis. It's Pasuk Gimel, not in Perek Aleph. Pasuk Gimel and Perek Beis. We all say in Kiddush, Kivay Shavas Mikol Malachtoi, Asher bara Elokim Lasois. That's the end of the creation of the world. And again, bara Elokim Lasois is Aleph Mem Tav emes. The world was created on emes, and you're breaking the truth, you're breaking the secret of the world. Tanya Rebbe Neiroya Omer. Dar Sheben David Babai, Narim Yalbinu Pnei Skenim. The youngsters will embarrass the elders. Uskenim Yamdu Lifnei Na'arim. And the adults, the elders, the old people will stand up for the youngsters. The Rebbe Kiva Eger was walking with the Chavas Yair. I think it was the Chavas Yair. I forgot to look it up again this morning. He was walking with a gadol, and they were walking by a bench of youngsters. And the Chavas Yair says to Rebbe Kiva Eger, "Oh, this is the Dar of Mashiach because these youngsters did not stand up." And the Rebbe Kiva Eger said, "No, it doesn't say that the youngsters don't stand up. It says that the elders will stand up for the youngsters. That's the problem." Here we have a little bit of a thing. Let's see. Here we go. Here, the elders. That's what's going to happen. They're going to get on a bus and they're going to kick the elders out of the seats. We're not quite there yet. We're working on it. It's last. 50-50. Scary Aleph. I was talking about it last night. that I don't know if it's me. I think it could be that all parents, like our parents, also said, "Wow, the dar changed so much. Look at the chutzpah of these children in our dar." But a lot of people agreed that there was a certain inherent covet that we gave our parents. There's a lot of stuff that, like Benny said, I didn't smoke a cigarette not because I was scared that it's going to hurt my father. Not I was going to get punished. It's going to hurt him. That hurt that parents had. I also didn't do a bunch of stuff with my friends because what if my father found out the chalishas adas that he would get, the pain that would cause him. Today, pain shmein, who is he b'chlal? I have to care. He should care about me. Oh, yeah, I forgot that my kids watched the shir. joking, man. Scared of yalef neinarim, ubas kama b'ima. I'll say this, even though it might hurt one of my children who might be watching the show. I asked them to whatever. It's a dumb story, but I don't open up cans on Shabbos. Why? Because my father back then held it. Now he changed his mind, I think. But the minute I don't know. One day, Mil de Suda, I'm like, hello? He's like, I hold you could. Like, I learned the halacha. It's okay. Okay, Beseder, I'm saying that's what I'm talking about. You're not going to get punished or that. It's just like, whoa, that hurt. Like, my minhag is not to, my father. I have 4 sons that it could happen to, so you're not going to know who. Next, ubas kama bi'ima, and even a daughter will, I don't know what the word kama, she'll stand up to her mother. V'kala b'chamoisa, this I don't get. This is one of the biggest kashas I have in the entire Shas. This is natural. This is normal to hate the shviger. Okay, the Gemara says it's not nice. V'kala b'chamoisa, upnei ador kipnei kelev. Once again, ben aben mizbayish ma'aviv. This one right over here. No busha from the father. No busha. Naturally, he's supposed to have a busha for the father, and there's going to be a dar where the father has to be embarrassed with the son, maybe. Tayyir ben Chaim yomer. Dar ben David babai. Ha'azus turba. There's going to be a lot of azus, a lot of chutzpah, v'hayoker yuvas, and covet, to give covet to others, is going to be whatever the word for yuvas, defamed, not defamed. They'll be crooked. It'll be evil, twisted. The honor will be twisted. V'hagefen yitim pir. There'll be a lot of grapes, v'hayayin b'yarka, but the wine will be very expensive, like mamash like in our dar, Castel. V'ne'apeches kol ha'malchus leminus. The Satmar Rav used to love this line, I think. The whole Medina is a bunch of minim. You can't, nobody can give any musr to anyone. The whole kingdom is going to turn into here a bunch of kaifrim. Omarava, Micro, Kulei Hovach Lavan, Tarhu. And a Murdik thing here. Where was it? Not 100% in order. Here. This guy over here, you see has Saras right over here? You see that white dot? Okay, now we're going to zoom out. That, he becomes a Mitzayra. Okay, he has to go into Mechutz Lamachna. But what happens if his entire body becomes white? Then it's too much, and he's not a Mitzayra. So he says, if the entire Malchus becomes Minos, then a few people mean it, but if everybody becomes minim, then Mashiach comes. Torah Abana, ki yodan Hashem amoy, ki yireh ki ozlas yod, ve'efes otzur v'azov. There won't be a single person that's protected or helped. Ein ben David ba, at sheyirbu ha'mesoros. The people who go to the authorities and snitch on other Jews, davar acher at sheismatu at talmidim. Another pshat is there'll be very few talmidim. People won't have money. They'll give up on the geula. Forgot to tell you this line. They say it. Today I'm in Rabbi Yaakov Kamenetsky mode. First of all, I'll start with this thing. I didn't say all the stories about Emes. He wrote a sefer Emes Yaakov, but he said, when it comes to the geula, those who know don't say. And those who say don't know. That's how it works. That's the aside. The Bachash is Achis Yashum and Agula Shenema ve'efes Otzur v'azuv Kevyochel ein soymech v'oizel Yisrael. It seems like there's nobody there to help and to protect Klal Yisrael. K'oder Rebzeri k'havamashkech rabbanon demis'aski bei Reb Zeir, you hear this? When Reb Zeir saw Gdoilim trying to make the cheshbon, going to Daf Tzadik Zayin Amud Aleph and Beis and Sanhedrin, going over all the shittas back and forth, and trying to figure out when exactly is Mashiach coming, Omar Lahu, he said, B'matusa, I'm begging you, please, what you're doing is distancing Mashiach. The Tanena, we learn, Shloisha Baim Behesach Hadas, the famous musig. Mashiach comes when you're least expecting him. When you expect him, when you think he's coming the next day, he doesn't show up. Elohein, Mashiach, Metzia, Va'akrov. There's also another Ma'aseh with Rabbi Kamenetsky. He came to the city and there was a big thing going on. The Mashiach is coming on Shabbos. Some group decided Mashiach is coming. There's a lot of excitement. In fact, one of the store owners, who's Michal Shabbos, said he's going to shut us. He's mamish inspired. Mashiach is coming. So he asked to speak to the guy, Rabbi Yaakov, and he told him, listen, we believe Mashiach could come any moment. He could come tomorrow. He could come on Shabbos, but we don't know for certain, and we're not allowed to say for certain he's coming tomorrow. He didn't want this guy to never. At least he has a chance that one day he'll believe it. He's Michal Shabbos, okay? But don't be a Kfir. When you tell somebody Mashiach is coming tomorrow and he doesn't come, you might cause the guy to never believe. Akrov, here's a guy, I'm not going to go through the whole thing, show you the whole thing, but this guy, you could just imagine he sat down on this situation over here, and he had a little visitor. And then, which also reminded me that when we were learning brachas, Rabbi Adler, that lives right over here, he's part of the shir then. How you doing, Elvis? And I asked him if I could borrow his scorpion. He had a live scorpion. I brought the shir. We had a live scorpion, and I brought it home after shir. And the next day, I come to bring it back to Rabbi Adler, and I look in the cage, and there's no scorpion. So I start taking it apart. He's not in there. He's not hiding in there. So now I have a problem. I have a scorpion running around in my house, and I can't tell my wife about this. But for months, they can live for months without food, with food. So I had to check the beds, and it's nervayim. If I would have told my wife, I would have had to move to another city. Never found him. He might still be in the house since brachas, but he doesn't. He's a tame one. He never bothered us. Huh?
You gonna go on the cruise?
He behaves. He could go on the cruise. He could go on the cruise. He's from brachas. Oh, Zog the Gemara. Omer Rav Katina. This is a famous Gemara, and it seems from the Rishonim that nobody really argues on Rav Katina. And this is very interesting to understand and to extract from this certain information. Omer Rav Katina, Shis Alfi Shnei Hav Almad. The world will last for 6,000 years. V'chad Chorov. And after that, there will be 1,000 years of just complete desolation, decimation, chorva. Shenemar v'nizgov Hashem levadoi bayoyim ha'u. Where are you, Dave? Hashem levadoi bayoyim ha'u v'nizgov Hashem levadoi Hashem levadoi bayoyim ha'u oy v'yasaya goy levadoi bayoyim v'gishmiyot Hashem is going to be by himself. Now, what happens to the tzaddikim at those 1,000 years? Does anybody remember? Here we go. Here we are.
I'm not going to sing.
They're going to get wings and they're going to float above the water. Are their muscles going to get tired? No. We're going to have 2,000 years of churban. 1,000 years ago, people didn't understand. What does it mean to be machriv the whole world? Today, every kid understands. You can be machriv the world in 5-6 minutes. Boom, there's nothing left of the world. Nothing. Zero. Complete churva of radiation and nothing left. Shenemar yichayenu miyomayim bayom hashlishi kimenu v'nichel lefanov. 2 days, Mchaya, the third day, we'll get up and we'll be Mchaya everything. Tani kevasedi Rav Katina. Kishem shashviz mishametes shona achas l'sheva shonim. Every 7 years is 1 year of you can't plow the ground, you can't do anything. It has to lay fallow. So the world also has to lay fallow for 1,000 years. V'omer mizmor shili yom Shabbos. So we say it every Shabbos. It's one of them. Okay, say that. But if we stop, we're not going to be able to learn. There's a 4-hour shir. This is the one perek that every singer and every composer learned very well, because every 2 lines is a song here. Mizmor shili yom Shabbos. We thought it's for Shabbos, but the Gemara is darshaning that it means like Shemitah, like Shabbos. The Gemara a lot of times calls Shemitah Shabbos. Yom Shekuli Shabbos, a whole day. That's by Kosh Baruch Hu, 1 year, 1,000 years is a day. The famous story, it's not even funny anymore. The guy told Rebbeinu Shalom, 1,000 years is a day for you. And all the gold of the world is like $1. So give me $1 for a half a day. Big deal. So the Baskel came down and said, come back tomorrow. Tanav Sheishis Alofim Shono Havi Almo Elio Hanavi says, the world is 6,000 years. Shnei Alofim Toyu. The first 2,000 years was complete Toyu. Why was it complete Toyu? Because Avraham Avinu started teaching Torah when he was how old? 52. And Memela, what do we have here? Here. When he started teaching Torah, B'charon. Because Nafshaso, the Shabidul Eiraiso, he's Meshabed him to the Torah B'charon. That was when he was 52. Because the Gemara says it was the year 2000. That means Avraham Avinu was born in 1948. Where are we holding? Tanav Shnei Alofim Torah. Shnei Alofim Yimais Mashiach. Oh. Just a small, just to pay attention over here. The first 2,000 years, there's no Torah. After that, there's 2,000 years of Torah until year 4,000. But the Torah stopped, the Torah started. But when the Torah, the Shnei Alofim Yimais Mashiach, the final 2,000 years, which we're in right now, it doesn't mean the Torah stopped, right? That you have to understand. The Torah stopped, the Torah started, the Torah continues into the last 2,000. Just maybe not at the same strength. That's Amud Beis. Because we have many Averis, Yotzu Mehem, Mashi Yotzu. That's it. The Mashiach didn't come because of the Averis that we have. Turning of the Daf, Adar Global Expert in International Financial Services, Dr. Alan Barber Listhouse, in memory of my dear father, Joseph Listhouse, on his 45th yard side. Baruch Yosef Ben Ariel V'Shalom. Lefur is Rivka Henya Bas Shulam, is Lefur Satini Kecheskel Yedid Ben Nechama Shendel, Nala Realty Bet Shemesh and Moshe Einorn, in honor of rebellion the entire MDY family. Omar Le Leo the Rav Yehuda Achua the Rav Salo Chasid Leo. No, he tells Rav Yehuda. 85 times 50. I did the math for you. 4,250. So the world has to be 4,250. In other words, at year 2050, somewhere in that area, Mashiach is going to come. At the end of the 50 or the beginning of the 50? There's a difference of 50 years here. Aliyah Navi, who knows when Mashiach is coming, he says, I don't know. Kala yani kala. Similar question, maybe even the same question, says the Maharsha, if we have this girsa. Hard to understand what he wants to know over here. Is it going to be right after or at the last year? Amalei any idea. Rav Ashi Omar says, I don't know. Rav Ashi Omar Hachi Amalei. Adachal Tistake, don't expect Mashiach before 4,200. Mikam Ve'elach Istakele, from 4,200 until 6,000, then you should expect him at any day. I met a person that has a Megillah who has this writing that we call Ashuris, not Ivri, the Lashon Kodesh, and it's also in Lashon Kodesh. Amarti loy, zoom in Lach. Where did you get this? I was hired to work for the Roman soldiers. And I found it in the Shemus of Rome. Because of Ba, and it says over there, La'achar Bas Alofim Musayim Ushloishim Achashon. It says Tishim, the guy says Shloishim, Libriyazi Shaloilam, Ha'olam Yitam. The world will be finished. Mehem Milchamis Tanidim. There'll be great wars of tremendous fish. I just thought, I don't know that a lot of people know about this. They probably do. But there is something in our world that's called the blue whale. You know about the blue whale? Anybody know about him? How much does it weigh? 400, basically almost 500,000 pounds. His tongue, the tongue of a blue whale, weighs more than an elephant. So whoever was in the safari and saw the size of an elephant and knows how much it weighs, 7 tons or whatever, the heart is bigger than, it's longer than 3 buses. So that's a tanin. And of course, I'm going back to my narish, the shaved man's pshat. Today we have aircraft carriers. Those are the taninim agdolim on the ocean. China versus America, airport against airport, F-35s against the plastic-made Chinese planes. No, seriously, they say that their planes, they're very good, but they last for like 4 or 5 hours. Their engines burn out very quickly. They have major issues. Huh? Yeah, of course. The engines are bought on AliExpress. So we have many years of taninim fighting, whatever that means. We have the Muhammad of Gog and Magog. We don't know what that is. And afterwards is Mashiach. And then HaKadosh Baruch Hu is going to renew the world. The destroyed world is going to renew it. Excuse me. After 7,000 years. Again, Rabbi said, even if I knew, I can't tell you. I'm just hinting. I don't know. I have to tell you I don't know. That's what I was told. I was told by those who told me to tell them I don't know. I say nobody knows. We're reading this. 7,000, 6,000, this, that. Whoever wants to look into it, look into it.
Just say you read already.
It has to be secret and it has to be surprise. So he changes the 4 to a 5. So before we had 4291 or 4231, whatever it is, he changes not 4, it's 5291. Also a year that we passed. Tanya. This pasuk goes all the way down to the deepest parts of the world. It's another song. We could sing another song, but if it's taking time and he's delayed, wait for him. You should know. He's going to come. He's not going to be late. Not like, don't listen to our forefathers who darshaned over here and they said, Adidon. So Idon is the time of the Shibud of Mitzrayim, which is 400 years. So Idon is 400 years. Idonim is plural. So plural of 400 is 800. 800 plus 400 is how much? 1200. Uplagidon, 1200 plus 200, because half of 400 equals 1400. So after 1400 years. No, they're wrong. But like you fed them bread with tears. Shalish. So he's going to add the 70 years of Bavel, of the Shibud of Bavel, plus 400 years of Mitzrayim. That's 470. 470 times 3 is how much? Shout, everybody quiet. 470 times 3?
1500 minus 9.
1410. Rabbi Kiva says, Mamish Otot. As the Gemara is going to say in a second, the Malchus Ben Koizeva, the Malchus of Bar Koichva, 2.5 years. In other words, Rabbi Kiva believed that Bar Koichva is Mashiach. And he says, it's coming Mamish Otot. It's a peloploim, huh? Rabbi Kiva, who knew everything, and he made a mistake about Bar Koichva. He thought he was Mashiach. Pella. You don't see in Shas a mistake like that, I don't think. Or Shmuel ben Chaim from Rabbi Kiva. Or Rabbi Esterson. Tibach atzmon shemachashvi kitzim. Maybe it's not a mistake. You'll say, Klal Yisrael didn't deserve it. It was supposed to happen. But Tibach atzmon shemachashvi kitzim. They're going to suffer a tremendous amount. Those who try to figure out when Mashiach is coming. They used to say, oh, he didn't come now, that's it, he's not coming. You have to wait for him. Maybe I'll say, oh, we wait, but he's not waiting for us. Both, he's waiting for you. Both, we're waiting for Hashem to send the ship, and he's waiting for us. So what's the problem? Both sides want to get married, so get married. The Midas Hadin. So okay, so we have Midas Hadin, so why are we waiting so desperately? The Kabel Sochar, Shenemar Ashrei Kol Choychala, you get schar for waiting for Mashiach. Every generation has 36 tzaddikim. So seriously, everybody should think to themselves, who are the tzaddikim in our generation? Okay? if you could come up with more than 5 tzaddikim, 10 tzaddikim, it'll be unbelievable. 10 tzaddikim, real tzaddikim. So what I want to tell the Olam is, there's 26 spots available for us. Everybody here could be that tzaddik. We can do tshuva right now and be one of these 36. Unless you know of 36, I don't know anybody I could name. This one and this one, 30. No, it's 36. There's nice people and this and that, but we could also be there. So somebody scream out, but you're not a nifter. First of all, we are nistarim. We all look like Pashut, simple this one, nistarim. But it doesn't say anything about nifter here. Where does it say nifter? That's, I don't know, maybe in a different Gemara it says 36 lamed vav tzadikim, the nistarim. Eini, there's 18,000 ave. Okay, so 18,000. How are you going to get to 18,000? If every generation has 36, how many generations were there already? I don't know what the cheshbon is. But it doesn't, how many?
2,000.
2,000 times, no, then it's more.
2,000.
Then there'll be more than 18,000. The Gemara says it doesn't add up to 18,000. And no, but in each generation, you can't have 36 plus 36. We all overlap. These generations are overlapping. You can't have it. It's not like that. This is also something I'm not allowed to tell the Olam, so I'm not going to explain it in the real way. But there's a... Oh, he has to go. You have to have your flight, Rabbi. Run, you're going to miss your flight. Go. You're allowed to get up in middle share, so it's fine. The guy right behind you gets up every day, and you're to miss your flight. Have a great, safe flight. Send regards to Montreal. Yishkar for coming. So we have to finish this year anyways. But here means to see HaKadosh Baruch Hu clearly, or through a screen, through something that's not so clear. So the 18,000, they see HaKadosh Baruch Hu, but not so clear. The 36 seem clear. When a fishikul lehayin, there's so many. Rav Shimon says the very few gdolim. In Melavim, if there's 1,000, ani ubni mehem. Then me and my son are one of them, 2 of them. In Mayhem, if there's only 100, ani ubni mehem. My son is also. Im Shnayim, if there's only 2 in the entire generation, ani ubni heim. We are them. So you see that you could have a generation with only 2, not 36. Like Asher. These are the ones that are invited to see Hashem. So there's a lot, but those are 36. But there's Daili Beloy Bar. Me and Rishim Beichai could go see HaKadosh Baruch Hu even without an invitation. Rabbi Sai, have a wonderful day.